Okay, so what we're going to play around with now, I think it's something quite cool, is how to give a object some kind of awareness of gravity and moulding around another object. So with this tutorial, it's going to be not all given to you. You need to make a model of a table, and it needs to be a circular tabletop. Okay, so I've got a model here that I've made, and you need this. Okay, this is going to be maybe the trickiest bit, is making this. After that, it should all become hopefully a lot easier. Okay, so once you have the table made, you're going to do the following. So we're going to go to poly modeling, making sure our workspace is on modeling standard, and we're going to add a polygonal plane. Okay, is what we're going to have a look at. And I'm just going to have a little look at this. I'm going to size it up. Now on the bottom of here, yeah, I'm happy with that. It just needs to be, basically I'm making like a tablecloth to go over the top of it. So I'm going to size this so it's just a bit bigger. Now I'm purposely going to do something wrong here, just so you can get a sense of what looks wrong about it. So I'm reasonably happy enough with that, and I'm going to place it over the top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, I need to add something to this. So I'm going to change to animation. Okay. And in my effects tools on the right hand side here, they've got some effects for clothing, usually to add kind of ripples and movement, and basically like colliders is what we're looking at, and it's called an N cloth. So I want to select this because this is the object that I want to move and alter, and I want to click add an N cloth to this. Now what you might not notice is that down here it's added a nucleus, and what that means is it's almost like a gravity point where it's going to fall to. It's going to fall down towards the nucleus. Okay, now at the minute, if I press play down here, it's going to fall through the table. Okay. Now the reason it does this is because the table in this particular object doesn't know it's a collidable object. And it doesn't know it needs to react with this. So with the N cloth on this and my nucleus down here, there is an item here that's called basically a collider for an N cloth. Select one or more polygonal meshes to act as a collider for the N cloth. So with this selected, I add a collider, and now it's going to look awful, by the way, because I told you I've made a mistake. Okay, when it runs back through, yeah, it will collide. Right, so you might think, oh, that's quite cool. There's a big issue here. Because I did not amend the geometry of this, there are not enough faces for it to really wrap round, and it just doesn't look like a cloth. There's no way, unless it was a, I don't know, piece of cardboard, or even a cardboard wouldn't move that much, I guess, but you know, something was very rigid, would it look like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and then delete it. My nucleus is still there, but that's fine, I don't have to worry about that too much. I'm going to go back to poly modeling. I'm going to add another plane. I'm going to size this one up. Right, this will do something like that. That should be fine. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I need to have a play around basically with this particular object. Okay, so with the channel box open, this one over here, okay, with this open, I just make sure I've opened up inputs, clicked on the polyplane 1 for inputs, and you'll see here it says subdivisions width. So you might have been thinking when I said there's not enough geometry you're going to add some edge loops on. Just a quick way of doing this is if you click on inputs, go to subdivisions width, and I'm going to say 20. I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to double up and I'm going to click on this one because obviously it's a square. I need to make sure it's the same. 20 and 20. There's loads of geometry now on this. Now if I go back to effects, I'll make sure I've added an end cloth to it. If I drop it now, okay, look how much nicer that wraps around. Yeah, it really falls around it. And I mean, if you wanted to, okay, you could effectively, you know, change it again, have a look, delete it, add another one with some more, you know, some more subdivisions on there, and make it look good in there. Okay, so that's what I want you to have a play around with. Is I want you to replicate this, and then I'd like you to use this theory, or this knowledge, for something else of your choice. I want you to add the same effect so it wraps around something else. There's a bit of a challenge for you. Alright, okay, off you go.